The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
I should have no voice right now, so... I've said this. I've said this. I've said this. I've said, can't somebody else do this? Forget this, I'm not doing this, I've said. Have you considered I'm okay with the world ending? Done that. I've done the reward. Thanks for telling me what to do. Viva la revolution. Leave. So I'm just gonna continue to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie. She will cheat. We're not gonna go through with this, right? Ignore him.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine, hero. Okay, so I need to go down unarmed this time and don't go back for the blade. I have to try to free her in order to
the only furniture of note
go a different route.
A plain wooden table. The blade is your implement.
We are going to enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks. Her voice
Hello?
is hypnotizing. Don't let it fool you.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a head. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Maybe. I think what I need to do is I think right off the bat, I need to try to get her out of the chains and then slay her when the narrator's like, nah, fam, I'm locking the door. Right? Because if I go back up for the blade, she's just gonna kill me.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too...
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
No.
Whoever locked the princess away down here intended...
I'm gonna go check upstairs. If not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement.
Yep, door slammed shut because the narrator's a cheater.
Is someone else here? You tried the door.
Locked, yeah. Turn to the
You
stairs.
make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before
yes.
raising her
She
arm
just
to her
like
mouth,
bites her
teeth
arm off.
tearing through her
Oh.
limb with a determination
It's still shocking. Like, it's less shocking than the first time because I knew it was coming.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
Don't most women make that face when they tear into a burger?
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Okay.
Fine. Against your better judgment,
We cut it
I
off.
cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort
Ugh.
to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the
Ugh.
ground. She didn't so much as utter a sound. No, she did. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours.
She's just
Blood
fine.
from her wounded arm
I
dripping
could.
rhythmically to the ground.
I want a burger and steak fries right now so bad you don't even know. Like, I want like a pub burger, which is really weird for me because I'm usually like a McDonald's burger bitch, right? Like I'm like real basic when it comes to burgers. Like I like McDonald's Big Macs and I like Wendy's Baconators. Those are some of my favorite burgers, but right now I want like a fucking pub burger with ketchup and lettuce and mayo and cheese, bacon, and one of those big ass fucking onions. Like, you know, they got a Vidalia that's like a million sizes bigger than it has any right being, and you just cut that bitch up and they slam that ring down on there. I want that, and then I want seasoned steak fries on the side, and that is what I desperately want in this very moment right now. I could eat the whole thing. The whole thing.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
I'm pregnant! I'm sorry!
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high.
Yeah, this is where he tells you you can't escape. Alright, he takes over your body.
What are you doing?
And we're gonna slay.
Okay, there's no going back now. With you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast.
Oh!
She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
Uh-oh.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a
Oh
weapon.
no!
You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't do. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh! Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So,
You're on a path in the woods.
what matters is that
and
you
at the
tried
end
to
of that
slay her.
path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then brilliant. We need to keep
Voice
our
of the
cards close to our
opportunist.
chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
This is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Nah, fam. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
What?
We were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation. You can't blame us for weighing our options. I can if you failed to slay the princess, which you
The music is
did.
great, yeah.
So great. Congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yeah, that's not how multiverses work.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Who knows?
That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we?
Maybe.
You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you?
No.
Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinions. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
We're gonna proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie.
Yep.
Don't worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done.
Do I take the blade, or do I go down without it?
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's see what he says about the mirror this time.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the muddy shelf, the blade sitting on the muddy shelf, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. But he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right?
I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am.
Oh, I'm sure we look great. If only there was some sort of reflective surface we could examine. Absolute shame there isn't anything like that around here. You do see it, right? I don't know how to read you. I see all sorts of things. But do you see the mirror? It's a simple yes or no question. Help me out here, will you? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Take
You
the
take
blade.
the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
Enter the basement. Step.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Probably, she says. I'm not nasty.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing.
I'm not.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
I didn't do anything.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying? Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
Well, 50-50.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you.
Kitty!
You descend the basement steps.
Kitty, kitty,
entering
kitty,
the
kitty,
dark
kitty,
room
kitty, kitty,
below.
kitty.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
No.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses.
A sphinx is still a kitty. A cat is a cat no matter the form, even if that form is a dragon, because everybody knows that cats are descendant from dragons.
Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the woods. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her.
Super serious.
Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
I'm still thinking about that burger chat.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Sorry about last time. Made a mistake. We all make mistakes. I'm sure you've made mistakes. I don't want to hurt you, but clearly there's some broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. Give her the blade. Leave the basement. Slay the princess. Look, I made a mistake. We all make mistakes, right? I'm sure you've made mistakes.
Smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right foot.
The only mistake I ever made was thinking you would help me. And I'm not going to make the same mistake twice.
Well, that leaves us at a stalemate.
But unfortunately, I need you if I'm ever going to leave this place.
I get the sense you're not happy with me.
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try harder than that.
All right. I've never had the option to just give her the blade before, so... I'm gonna give her the blade.
You can't be serious.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I, abstain? You abstain? She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
This isn't a democracy. We're giving her the blade. Yeah, never mind. That was such a silly idea. I'm not gonna give her the blade. She clearly hates us. I'm gonna give her the blade.
Get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
I mean, the real answer is because I really like this game and I want to see all the routes, and also because I really like this game, I want to get all the achievements because I have this crippling obsession that when I really like a game, I want to get all the achievements, be like, oh, look at me, I 100%ed the game, ooh, haha. And that's something that started when I was really young, so I can't really control that. It's kind of like this Oonga Boonga shiny thing, but, you know, I'm sure there's another reason that I'll give you in the context of the actual game.
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
You're probably gonna stab me. That's up to you. It's why I gave you the blade. I chose last time, and I regret it. Now it's your time to choose. We're both scared and we're both hurting. If one of us doesn't make a change, we'll probably kill each other forever. Do you want that? I don't. We can be better than this. You're beautiful. I want to actually save you, and this feels like the only way to do it. If you're like someone I know, you're probably going to kill me. Remain silent. Ooh, I like several of these options. I like if you're like someone I know, you're probably going to kill me. And I like the first two. That's up to you, and we're both scared and we're both hurting. I really do like these options. The thing is that I didn't actually choose last time. I got forced by the narrator. Though I guess in all technicality, I did end up choosing. Oh, you're right. 2 does have Dormammu, I've come to bargain vibes, and because of that alone, I'm gonna go with it.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
Okay.
And then she buries the blade in your heart.
Bye.
What? No. No, come on, that's not right.
Nah, it is.
I told you. I told you this is what she was going to do.
Yeah.
Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
Yeah.
I did it. I got you. You...
Now you're gonna get cold.
The princess seems to tremble.
Oh,
Her
she became
smile
less
fading
beast-like.
quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
Because, princess, I've come to bargain.
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.